Hi, and welcome to today's Pick a Card reading. Today's topic is what is going on in this relationship and what can I do to improve it? All right, so this particular reading might be a little bit longer than usual. We've got 6 piles, and I just wanted to go ahead and let you guys know that I'm kind of showcasing one person's oracle cards for this particular day. Her name is Mystic Moon. That is her name on YouTube, and that's also her name on Etsy, where she sells her independent decks. And we have the Twin Flame Oracle, the Twin Flame Journey Tarot, and Signs from Spirit Love Oracle. The other card that we have, obviously on top, is the Angel Dreams Oracle cards, which is the one that I mentioned either yesterday or the day before, which was donated to the channel from a viewer. So just wanted to let you know that because I get a lot of questions about what decks I use, and I want to make sure everybody knows. And now, even though these are twin flame themed messages, it doesn't matter if you're in a twin flame relationship or not. It's love themed. It can apply to any kind of connection, of course. So that said, let me go ahead and name the piles. We have pile number 1 is the yellow stone. Pile number 2 is the orange stone. Pile number 3 is the red stone. Pile number 4 is the green stone. Pile number 5 is the blue stone. And pile number 6 is the black stone. All right, guys. So that said, you guys can concentrate on your person, okay? This is a love reading. Concentrate on your person. Concentrate on who you want to know about. And go ahead and feel out which card, pile, or which heart calls to you the most, and that will be your reading. Okay, that said, also, while you guys are picking, know that anything you need to know about me is in my description. That includes how to book a private reading, donations, and just contact information. We'll also put the timestamps in there as well. So that said, I really don't want to waste anybody's time. If you have not picked, go ahead and pause the video. Otherwise, we're going to start with pile number 1, all right? Okay. So as you guys know, I always move these around so that we have enough room. Okay. Hi, pile number 1. Those of you who picked the yellow heart. All right, what's going on in this relationship and what can you do to improve it? Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the tarot here. We've got the 10, well, we've got Wheel of Fortune, which is number 10. We've got the Devil, okay, and we have the Sun. So we have 3 major arcana cards. That is really big, okay, because when we have major arcana cards, it lets us know that, yeah, we've got some, we've got a lot going on, and this isn't a big, important relationship too, okay? The major arcana signals that kind of stuff, okay? So for the Twin Flame Oracle, we have compromise and lessons. This is what's going on your person's end, okay? And for you, here is your advice. We have 555 and Dove, and we also have School, right? So let's go ahead and focus on what's going on in your person, and then we'll talk about the advice. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune, what's going on in your relationship? We've got this kind of like sense of destiny with it between the two of you. It's like it's coming together. It's almost like there's this idea that like this relationship's inevitable somehow, or like or that some kind of union, some kind of moving together is going to happen. Okay, so it feels very. It feels very, it's almost like mechanical, or like the way that it's like that the sun's gonna come up every day, even though you don't really know that, you believe it, right? It's kind of like that. It feels like the universe believes it. You might believe in this, but it's like the relationship is just this thing that, like, yeah, of course it's gonna happen, right? But we do have the Devil here. This is warning about obsessions. Now, this could refer to either party in this relationship. Either you are the person, or both. And it's just talking about basically the intensity of the mind frame towards this relationship. Okay, so for some people, this is just saying, your relationship's really, really intense, and that's what's going on right now. It's really intense. For others, this is gonna be saying, okay, you guys are really attached to each other. Be careful of getting too enmeshed. Or this could be like you're really attached to a certain outcome or a certain kind of expectation, and kind of like take a step back from that and try to kind of mellow out if you can, because again, like I said, this is a very intense connection regardless of the devil card. We've got three major arcana cards. So yeah, and then we have the sun. This is illumination and growth. Now, this I also associate with a lot of happiness as well. But basically, there's going to be some kind of higher truth that you're going to be kind of stumbling upon soon. Okay, I put this probably somewhere in the next month. You're going to be stumbling upon some kind of like greater truth, or there's going to be something that is hidden right now in the relationship that's going to make itself known. And by that I mean like this is something that is a mystery. For example, in one of my relationships, I don't really know how the other person feels about me, but I know that they care about me, right? Well, if I was getting this reading between me and that person, I would say, oh, okay, so I'm going to find out how they feel about me. Or if this was between, like if I was asking about my daughter, okay, I understand this is romantic, but if I was asking about my daughter, I'd be like, well, I've been wondering if she's been sneaking her phone into her room and texting and talking to her friends, all night. And so I will find out whether or not that's true or not. It's like, that's what I mean. It's something that you already know is missing, or some kind of piece of missing information that you already are seeking out. Okay. So that's what I mean by that in this particular reading. Sometimes I talk about things coming to light and it's like, it doesn't feel like it's anything that my viewers know about, but this is something you've been wondering about. Okay. And again, I put it, within a month. I'd even go ahead and say within 3 weeks, okay, from the time that you watch this. No matter when you watch it, that's the time frame. Okay, so your person right now is looking to compromise with something, compromise with you on something involving the relationship. So that's actually positive. It means that you don't get exactly what you want, but it also means that you get most of what you want, right? They see that you need something from them, basically. And they see that in order for you to be happy, they've got to give something, right? But they also, in giving, they're having to take away from something else. This is something that's like so common in like marriage relationships that it's just like, oh, well, that's a given. But sometimes like when we're in the earlier stages of relationships and we like kind of want more and more and more, because it's so great and everything, it can be sometimes difficult to step outside of ourselves and know that, just kind of trust that the relationship is, that's what you do in relationships, So, this might actually be something that's been a struggle. Maybe your person hasn't been willing to compromise yet, and that's what's been bothering you. But that's the energy right now with them, okay? And they are also learning lessons, okay? And I do have to point out, we've got the lessons card here on their end. They're learning something, okay? And when I don't mean like, oh, they're going to school. I mean, they might be, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in the relationship, they're learning like very valuable lessons that are going to change the situation in a positive way. On your end, we have school, we have lessons here. All right. So, I do want to mention that you're mirroring each other. You guys both have the same kind of energy on both of your sides. This is actually what they're telling you is what you should do. All right. So we've got an intense, really important relationship that you're asking about, and we've got your person in the energy feeling good. We've got a lot of happiness, and we've got truth coming out. We've got this is kind of like a fated relationship, and we've got your person wanting to compromise with you, wanting to meet you halfway, basically. So on your side, what does this mean for you? What is your lesson in this? Okay, what can you do to improve the situation? Well, first off, we've got Dove, peace. You know how we were talking about the obsessions and all of that kind of thing. And I'm not telling you guys that you're obsessive or anything like that. I'm just saying the energy is kind of like intense, and sometimes like when something gets that intense, it can be like intense fear or intense worry, you know? So I do want to address that. Peace is really important. It's gonna be, I feel like this has a double meaning for you guys, depending on who you are. For some of you guys, this means, you know, if you guys have been having some arguments and all of that, try very hard to choose your battles and to be at peace with your thoughts about that, okay? Because they will work themselves out. If this is a situation where you've been worrying a lot or where you've been stressed about the situation, understand that with this Wheel of Fortune here and these three major arcana cards, you're being told right now that this is an important relationship. It is going to be okay. Things are still moving together, okay? And so you can take peace in the fact that the universe is helping bringing this about, okay? This is also, we also have 555. This is, you know, it's kind of like a wake-up call, okay? It brings more wisdom. Of course, with wisdom, you can apply that to bring more peace to your mind, of course. But 555, the number 5, is associated with changes, okay? They can be challenges, too. I do want to mention that, but there is changes. So right now, basically what you're being asked to do is kind of change your mindset so that you can bring more peace to the situation, not just for your person, but also for yourself, okay? And when we have school and lessons, you know, that's a pretty straightforward answer, but I do want to make sure I address the fact that this is a dream oracle. And sometimes, you know, we need to apply other interpretations when we have a sign or symbol or a sign that is so universal. You know, you can have like, you can say, oh, well, school means lessons every single time. And it's like, that's not really actually true though. You know, different dreams, different experiences, that'll mean different things, right? I feel intuitively that what this means for most of you guys, this has been a situation, you know, whatever needs to change, whatever's like kind of shaking up the peace here, and whatever needs to be compromised about, this is something that's been like, it feels like you've gone over this over and over and over again, and it's like you cannot get a resolve. You can't get a resolution to this, right? And so it feels like this is like kind of like that dream where you go back to school and it's like, wait, you know, I need this one more class to graduate, or wait, I don't know how to open my locker. How am I supposed to access what I'm supposed to need? It's almost like this feeling that there's not enough, you know, there's just not enough energy anymore to keep going, you know, or that kind of thing. Or that it's like, really, we have to go through this again, you know? I have a dream, I've been having it recently, where it's like I have to go back and relearn physics, but it's always combined with some other thing that it is, in my mind, not related. So I had one dream where I went to one of my high school classes, and I'm 38, guys, so high school was a while ago, and I got E.M. Forrester as my teacher, who is a writer. And he was my physics teacher, and apparently he specialized in literary physics. It was so weird, right? Dreams are so weird. But anyway, yes, applying analytical psychology to dreams, especially Jungian psychology, is what speaks to me the best. And of course, your own personal meanings. Because please, if school and lessons mean something to you when you have a dream about that, take that over me, okay? Take whatever you're getting intuitively over anything I say. But yeah, the school is just talking about kind of having to rehash things. But here's the difference now. We've got somebody willing to make a compromise. And this is promising that, yeah, change will happen as long as you work towards it. And the attitude to go with that is a peaceful attitude. Okay, guys? So it looks really good. It really does. Yeah, it looks, I mean, it's not really actually asking too much of you, I don't think, you know? Again, give it 3 to 4 weeks. Okay, hi, those of you who picked the second pile, the orange stone. Here is what's going on in your relationship right now. We have the 9 of Wands. We've got trials and tribulations. Okay, we have awaiting results with the 3 of Wands, and we have this 3 of Swords, which is heartache. Okay, all right. So on your person's end, we have a nostalgia. This is like memories, like really wanting to hold on to something, okay, that's in the past. And then we also have fear, okay? And then on your end, this is These are your messages, okay? This is what you can do to improve it, okay? We've got 888. We've got energy alignment, okay? And we have stairs, all right? Okay, so one thing that's kind of frustrating about this particular spread isn't, some of the negativity, that we're seeing here, but actually the fact that there are so many different messages here depending on the viewer. So I'm going to try to break them down into 3 different messages, okay? For most of you, it's going to be similar, but there's going to be some crossover, okay? Let's go ahead and look at the tarot. So we've got the 9 of Wands, trials and tribulations. You're being challenged, okay? This relationship's being challenged. That's what's going on right now. You're going through some trials and tribulations. This doesn't necessarily have to do with another person. It could. But when we talk about heartache, people can get hurt over a lot of stuff. A multitude of things can create heartache, okay? So your person, or you, or both of you, this relationship is going through some heartache. Maybe it's because of the trials and tribulations. Maybe it's because the 2 of you are having some problems to work through. Maybe it's because there isn't a whole lot of contact, or there isn't a whole lot of nurture going on right now. It's almost like the winter of your relationship in a way. Or maybe it's just that, there's no communication, or maybe this person is absent somehow from your life. But we do have awaiting results, okay? So this is the energy that the relationship is in right now. And it's like the energy is awaiting results, and what's happening is trials and tribulations and heartache, okay? So it's like, what's going on in this relationship? Well, you guys are being challenged. Probably both of you are feeling, kind of hurt by this relationship, okay? And by kinda, I mean very hurt for some of you, okay? And both of you guys have this awaiting results energy, like this is where it's supposed to be right now, is just kind of waiting. Now, I would never advise anybody to just wait around for something to happen, because I understand that stagnation can be very crippling and definitely doesn't elevate your position in any way, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, that kind of thing. But in this particular relationship right now, it's like the timing is really off right now, and so there is going to be a wait. There is going to be a pause. That doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It just means there's a pause going on right now, and that's and this is energy here. We've got 2 3s. I feel like that's important to point out. This is kind of the energy of your relationship is 3, okay? Of course, that could mean a third party, but I really feel like it's just that number is important to you for whatever reason, so I need to point that out. Okay, so what's going on your partner's are the person that you're asking about on their end? They're really afraid. They're really afraid of something right now, and it has to do with the relationship. They've got these ideas that they want to hold on to. These ideas that they've learned from the past. It might have to do with heartache coming from you, or it might just be general heartache that they've accumulated throughout their life. Some doesn't even have to do with romantic relationships. Maybe some trauma from some trauma from childhood, or some or some kind of idea, or belief system that's been ingrained in them that they just don't want to let go of, something that maybe they take comfort in that they normally would be able to go to, but because of this relationship, it's like kind of woken them up, and they're like, wait, I can't go to that anymore. That doesn't make sense in this relationship. So now I'm afraid. I don't know how to soothe myself. It's like self-soothing, right? It would be like a child who is used to having a pacifier, and it's taken away from them, and then they can't sleep at night because of that. It's like it has nothing to do with their attachment to their parents. It doesn't have anything to do with their need, like any kind of hunger needs or anything like that. It's just something has been taken away that they've relied on, in the past, that now they can't go back. They can't get it back. And because of that, they're really afraid. Okay. So it's just really feeling unsettled, really feeling like, kind of like the floors dropped out from underneath them, that kind of thing. It's like they're just going through a lot of nervousness, okay? That's what's going on. Here's what's going on with you, and here's like the way towards this. And this is where I'm going to get into like kind of the 3 different ways of looking at this. For some of you, we've got 888. We've got new opportunities and abundance are coming your way soon. Okay? Some of you, this means this relationship, you're going to end up wanting to walk away from it, okay? And this is you wanting to. This is not like the relationship, so if you feel weird hearing that, then that message isn't for you. If that feels right, like, yeah, okay. It's like this is kind of confirming, yeah, you need to walk away from it, okay? For those of you who don't feel that at all and are like, wait a minute, what? This is new opportunities are coming in the relationship. Your wait is going to be fulfilled with some kind of concrete, some kind of thing going on in this relationship. Okay, when I see 8, I immediately think August. I know that's a while away. I'm also thinking about the viewers that are watching this when it's not, when it isn't going up. I would say 5 months at the most. That's a lot, okay? So those of you who are watching and it's not the time that it goes up, give it 5 months. If that's too long, then, whatever. We still have some more advice, though. But yeah, I'm getting about 5 months from now, okay? So again, you are awaiting results, but the results are going to be great, okay? We also have energy alignment, okay? Here's another point of advice for you. If you want to create something with your person, okay? And this is something that I wish that I could explain why this works. I don't know how, I just know it's true, okay? And that's the best way I can put it. If you want to experience happiness with your person, then what you've got to do is kind of put yourself in alignment with what you'd want them to do. I'll give a very simple example for my own personal life. In my own personal life, there's somebody that I work with on some other projects, and what I do is, or what has happened is that this person wasn't doing, it's actually all resolved now, but the person wasn't doing what they were supposed to, or they were kind of slacking, but then again, they had a whole lot of frankly, crap going on in their life, right? And I had gone through a lot of crap in my life too, and I had slacked off on some of my stuff, or I had actually gotten behind on some of my stuff, so I wasn't able to do well either. So in my mind, though, of course, I'm not thinking so much about myself. I'm thinking about the other person. I'm like, well, you need to get this stuff done. You need to do this. You need to do that, At least in my head. That's not the way I would talk to this person ever. But, that was what I was thinking. And I was kind of stuck on that for weeks. Like, talking to my partner saying, why isn't this person doing their thing? They need to do this, and all of this stuff. And then I realized, wait a minute. Maybe if I stopped worrying so much about what they're doing or not doing and focus more on what I'm not doing, then that would help. So I started getting my act together, and boom, they started getting their act together. So it's, that's what I mean by energy alignment. One thing about this is that we've got names. You might hear either your name or the name of your person a lot. That's kind of a confirmation that you're being aligned, okay? It doesn't necessarily have to be a name, though. When energy aligns, we just experience a lot of coincidences. It might be a song. It might be synchronicities, it might be those kinds of things. But you'll be able to experience like almost immediate kind of like signs up, thumbs up, you be able to get that immediate verification that, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do, okay? So that's another group of you. And this doesn't mean that these can't overlap, okay? It's just that some of you, only one of these things is going to be like really, really good. And if it speaks to you, if it's like, oh, wow, that sounds good, that's what you're talking, that's the one we're talking about. And then the stairs, this mentions timing again. And when we've got the waiting and we've got the timing, I really feel like what the stairs are saying in some cases is that just the time isn't right. The time just isn't right for this particular relationship. This can be combined with the 8 saying, maybe you should walk away. Maybe you should take advantage of another opportunity. Although it can also be saying, maybe it's okay that this isn't working right now and that you've got to wait. Work on something else. Work on some other kind of thing in your life, okay? And we have direction, okay? So I feel like this direction, it's like it's talking about a couple of things, okay? First off, it's talking about getting in your own headspace, in your own heart space, in your own spiritual space, and raising that awareness and vibration within you. And when I talk about that, I mean, get perfectly aligned with your heart. Be in that energy of love. If you're feeling anger, that's okay. You're a human being. You're supposed to feel all sorts of different things. If you weren't angry sometimes, then maybe there might be something a little bit wrong with your limbic system, right? So it's like, if you're feeling anger, that's fine. Work on it. If you're feeling fear, that's fine. Work on it. Work on your emotions until you are able to maintain that kind of serene love coming from your heart, okay? That's moving up. That's getting into a good vibration. That's what I mean. With your thoughts, are you feeling kind of cloudy? Are you feeling like, in your head, are your thoughts a little bit muddled? Is it kind of hard for you to even maybe finish sentences sometimes because you're so worried about something? Are you feeling anxious? Work on that. That's raising your vibration until you have that serenity, until you can have that calmness of mind, and it's just perfectly aligned with your heart. And then get right with your spirituality, whatever it is. I don't care if you don't believe in anything, except that what you believe in is that only the cold hard facts of what you can see and feel and observe. Then dedicate yourself towards that scientific endeavor, okay? Dedicate yourself to whatever truth you see in the universe is the connecting factors, and that will also raise that vibration. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's something that is basic. Things happen, right? And that will also help you by raising yourself up. That will also help this speed up along. And then another thing is that this is kind of a predictive card as well, letting you know that the direction will be moving up. Even those of you who want to walk away from this situation isn't over yet, okay? This is going to be moving forward and moving up. All right, guys? So you got a super long reading, but there was a lot of information. Really hope that helps. I really think this is going to be fine. And if it's like, well, that doesn't really sound worth it, then, that's okay. That's okay. Alrighty? Okay, pile number 3, those of you who picked the red heart. Okay, so we have, on your person's side, we've got 5th dimension and observer. On your side, we have, please don't worry about this. Okay, some of you guys actually might, I don't want to trigger any of you. We have the number 6 as kind of like a spirit number. I don't want to trigger anybody by showing them that. And then we've got service, okay? Your advice card is Lady's Mantle. This has to do with mother, healing, and alchemy. Okay, and then here's your tarot cards. This is describing what's going on in your relationship. We've got the 6 of Cups. This is memories and reunion, okay? We have the Ace of Cups. This is a love initiation. And we have the 10 of Swords, so we've got a painful ending. Alrighty. So what's going on in your relationship right now? The way that I'm interpreting is it feels like this for some of you guys, it might feel like this whole thing is over. Like this is, maybe something happened and it feels like, oh my gosh, there's no way this is going to happen now. This is, this is really bad. I don't know what to do, right? And like, we're not talking about just endings. We're talking about painful endings, okay? It would bring a lot of pain, okay? This could be the relationship that you're asking about, or it could be what happened right before the relationship that you're asking about. It's all going to depend on at what stage in the relationship you're asking this question, okay? And I can't answer that for you. I can just say that this is an energy that is present in your situation right now. It's this painful ending, okay? I'm not saying it actually is an ending. That's the way you're perceiving it. That's the way that you're experiencing it, okay? And your person is experiencing it too, or being affected by it, all right? Similarly, it could be that your person's experiencing this and you're being affected by it, right? Okay, so we've got this painful ending, but right after it, we have a love initiation. Those of you who are asking about a situation where the person is like, no, this person, seriously, they're gone. They don't want to be with me anymore. I just want to know what's coming up next. You will meet somebody so quickly. It's like ridiculous. because I'm getting very, very fast movement with this, okay? For, all of those of you who are like, now it doesn't feel like it's over, there's been some really negative stuff going on, this person's coming back. It's almost like this had to happen, this had to end, this had to go away in order for you to get a fresh start, and now you're going to be going through that love initiation, okay, with your person. Some of you guys are going to think you're in the first group, and you're going to find out you're actually in the second group, okay? That's going to be, kind of nice, actually. And here is another card that kind of confirms this with you, because we've got the Six of Cups. This is about memories and reunion, not union, reunion, right? So coming back together, right? This might be an ex, that you're asking about. If it's not, that's okay. It's just you guys are gonna be coming back together. You're gonna be something. It's like if you're kind of going through some times right now, this is letting you know it's gonna bounce back. That kind of thing. That's the energy of what's going on. That answers what is going on in this relationship. And it's going to answer what's going on with your person. Your person's working on themselves. Really, like, they're working on themselves spiritually, but they're also having, like, if they're not the kind of person that's really aware of spirituality and that kind of stuff, they're probably having a lot of dreams. They're probably having, like, experiencing a lot of coincidences, that kind of thing. It's like their soul's calling to them, okay, right now, and they're learning a lot as a result of this. And when I say they're learning a lot, I mean they're learning about the nature of reality as it relates to you and your relationship, okay? We also have this person observing, okay? We've got the observer. I feel like this person is still really attached to you. If this person's gone, this person's really, really attached to you. Otherwise, the person's totally in your life, and it's like, I have no idea what you're talking about, Cassie. What are you saying? This person's checking in on you a lot. They're looking you up on social media. If that creeps you out at all, then take steps that you need in order to block it or whatever. But it's a sweet kind of thing. It doesn't feel malicious. It feels like it's a sweet kind of like, I want to know. It's almost like when you're shopping for somebody for a important gift. It's like you start trying, you might ask the friends, well, have they ever told you what ring size they wear? What cut diamond do they like? That kind of thing. I'm not saying that that's what they're doing, but I'm just using it as an example of how when we want to do something sweet for somebody, sometimes we, snoop a little bit. That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. If it does feel sweet, it does not feel threatening, okay? So on your end, we have 6 as your number. This is all about raising your vibration. This is about you consciously making the choice of peace and harmony with this situation. So basically, just kind of going on with the theme of this reading, that there might have been some kind of painful ending here. Make sure that you're at peace with it, okay? Make sure that you accept, this had to happen. Whatever it is that has been negative, and it might be something as small as they didn't take out the garbage, and oh my gosh, this is the last time ever we are going to have to end this, situation. It doesn't necessarily have to be a big deal, right? Because I know that it's really painful to me when my partner doesn't take out the trash. And I mean, you guys seriously might think that I'm joking, and I'm not. I mean, I'm like kind of giggling nervously now because it's like, it really is important. Maybe I need to kind of check my priorities, but it really is. I have sensory processing disorder. So when I, am having sensory input, it's like really overwhelming. So when I smell a negative, like a smell that I really don't like, it is so overpowering. It makes me feel like I'm gonna throw up. It creates a lot of stress. It really does. So I'm not like, I'm not like super privileged and all of that. I'm not coming from that state. I'm just coming from the state where I just happen to have a condition that makes that really, really bad. Just wanted to be clear. But yeah, choosing peace and harmony, choosing to be like, it's okay. Sometimes I don't like to take out the trash too. I'm just using this as a metaphor because it's really, really like a solid, sometimes I don't like to do my chores either. It's okay that you mess up every so often, but seriously, could you please do it at least the day of or the next day, because it's interfering with my health, that kind of thing. That's what I mean by peace and harmony. It doesn't mean that you have to be at peace with like things that you shouldn't have to tolerate, or you have to be at peace with something that's a major crossover of a major boundary, okay? It just means that you guys can get along even though this happened, okay? And then we also have service, okay? So what can you do? Like I think of service, and of course there's always like acts of service, like taking care of somebody else. But I really feel like as your advice card, this is kind of like taking care of yourself, okay? And when I think, when I'm getting this card, I keep getting this image of like a car in a shop, being serviced. Like, maybe you need just a little bit of a tune-up. It's not like you're wrecked. It's not like you you need new tires or anything like that. But just kind of like get everything checked, make sure everything's okay. I don't really feel like this is necessarily physical health, although it might be. I feel like this is more just, kind of take stock of what's going on inside of you. Have you been having some unusual aches and pains? What would that might tell you? For example, sometimes I have back aches when I'm really, really stressed, and that lets me know, okay, I need to sleep an extra hour every night or whatever. Take stock of how you're feeling. Are you feeling, are your feelings really aligned with this relationship or not? How are you thinking? Are you attaching more to the negative? Are you being realistic? Are you, using your imagination? Are you being creative? That kind of thing. Are your thoughts clear? Kind of give yourself a little tune up there, okay? And then also, when you're called to serve, try to take advantage of those opportunities. Some of us have more energy than others, just frankly, and so I'm not telling you to push yourself or do too much, because, we all know what happens when we take on too much. But at the same time, the more you do for others, the more you get back. It's just one of those laws that, by the time you get to a certain age, it's like, yeah, that's true. So just kind of keep that in mind. Here is another piece of advice. We've got Lady's Mantle, Mother, Healing, Alchemy. Okay, so I feel like this can have a couple of meanings with the mother energy here. We can say, okay, so your advice might be that one or both of you has an issue with your mother, okay? It can just be that simple. Be aware of that and try to figure out, how does that play in to the relationship and how does that need to be healed, okay? For some of you, this is going to be all about nurturing the relationship. What can you do to help nurture the relationship and make it grow? Okay? And what that nurture is going to look like is, it's not selfish. It's not, well, this person needs to do this thing for me. It's not like that. It's, well, this person and I both need to grow in this one way. What is something that you guys share in common that you're just really not great at? For example, me and one of my friends, we both are horrible, just absolutely horrible at socializing, reading social cues and that kind of thing. Like, if he and I were in a relationship, like a romantic relationship, we would be like the most awkward guests at every single event ever. Okay? I mean, I pretty much am anyway, but I mean, like, us as a couple, like, we'd be known as that. We'd be like, oh, they're the weird couple, just don't invite them. That kind of thing. So really, we're talking about nurturing it. Like, what is it that we need to work on, right? If I was in a romantic relationship with that guy, I'd be like, okay, we've got to learn social graces, that kind of thing. We've got healing. Nurturing and healing does kind of go together, right? Of course, you can nurture yourself by drinking a little bit more water, and then water can have that healing ability, and it balances our pH and it gives us enough energy and all of that kind of good stuff. So keep that in mind. Alchemy, I love that word, but it's so abstract to me. I understand that in a lot of countries, for example, they talk about like prescription drugs as coming from chemists or chemics, right? So alchemy is just all about chemistry. Yes, it's about putting things together and heating them up and making them blend, basically. But this is basically, when I'm thinking about alchemy, and in this, it's just that the two of you need to kind of come together and blend together. So try to figure out, what are their strengths that you have weaknesses in, and vice versa. Take the strengths that you have that they don't have and use that in a positive way. Don't act like it's a deficiency for them. Act like, this is something I can do for you. Concentrate on that service, okay? This is going to come back around for you guys, all right? If you are currently out of contact, this will come back around for you, okay? Alrighty. Hi, pile number 3. Those of you who picked the green stone. Wait, you're not pile number 3, you're pile number 4. What am I saying? Those of you who picked the green stone. Here is what's going on with your relationship. Okay, what's going on in this relationship? We've got the moon. The moon talks about illusions. There's some more stuff to it than just illusions. We've got 14, temperance. We're talking about restoration, okay? And we have the Knight of Wands, a passionate adventure. Wow. What's going on with your person? We've got a purge. Okay, they've got to get rid of something. We've got a third party situation. This does not mean that it has to be another person. This is just a wedge that gets in between the two of you. Okay, it can be like, this could be school. This could be this could be a really nosy mother-in-law. It could be a friend. It could be it could be like physical distance. Okay, does not have to be like, oh well, they're with somebody else. It doesn't mean it. A third party is just a wedge that's coming in between the two of you. Look at this. We've got a building. We've got that edge of the building. It's wedging in between the two of you. So I do want to make sure that I'm very clear about that. Some of you guys, it is going to be another person, okay? We've got the color violet. Ooh, and the color brown. These are some of my favorite colors. Brown's actually my favorite color. Yeah, I know, I'm weird. And then we've got bathroom, which is cleanse and clarify. These are your advice cards. So let's kind of try to keep these out of the way. Let's start with what is going on in this relationship. This is what you can do to improve it. All right. So first off, we've got 2 major arcana cards. We've got the moon and temperance. I think that that's really important. This is a big relationship, this is a major thing in your life, okay? Okay, so with the moon, we've got things that are hidden, okay? Things that are kind of in the unconscious and things that kind of come out at night. I associate nighttime with creative endeavor and especially regarding writing and reading, okay? It might just be because that's the time that I am able to read and write myself without being interrupted because my kids are asleep and sometimes my partner goes to bed a little bit early and then I'll have enough time to just kind of clear my mind and that kind of thing. That's my association, but I'm also being told that that's what I'm supposed to say too, okay? So I just want to have a full disclosure that, I'm aware that I might be biased here, so keep that in mind. The bottom line here, though, is that this particular card is designed to mention illusions, okay? Understand that however you're perceiving the situation, there is something about it that might be a little bit off. That does not mean that you're crazy. It doesn't mean that, oh, well, everything you've perceived about it is off. No. What you could be perceiving about this is like, ooh, maybe this isn't going to happen. And it actually is, and you're kind of going back and forth like, well, I feel really strongly, but it feels like maybe something's not going to happen. Illusions is all about that kind of stuff. Another thing that I'm getting very strongly, your person actually might be kind of trying to put on a show, but that there's something underneath there that's more true. An example from my personal life. I have a friend that I jokingly call the Virgin Father, right? He claims that he is the biggest prude ever and, all of that kind of stuff, whatever. And hey, he might be, and I actually do know that, when he was younger, that was kind of his reputation, right? If the moon card applied to him, okay, this would mean, well, actually, maybe he kind of is into some kind of weird stuff, sexually. It's just, and it's like, well, you have this idea about this guy, oh, well, he doesn't really he's not really into sexy stuff, and all of that. But the real illusion might just be that, yeah, but when he's really into you, he can go all out, that kind of thing. He just maybe doesn't have lots and lots of partners, or, maybe he's reserved or whatever. That would be, I feel so bad. If you're watching, please, I'm sorry. It was the best example I could think of. That would be the kind of thing that I'm talking about, okay? Like there's something that's illusory about what this person's presenting to you, okay? But not necessarily in a bad way, just there's some kind of assumption that's not exactly the way it is, right? We've got temperance. I really love temperance. This is talking about restoration. I like the way that it's called restoration in this particular deck. We are talking about a love tarot deck, okay? So, of course, it's going to have that slant. But yeah, I really feel that this is kind of like, it's almost like a recalibration, right? We're talking about something that's kind of gotten out, like kind of all funky and weird, and right now it's like balancing itself out, okay? And it's a very natural process, is what I'm getting to. So it's like you've got some illusions, we've got some things might be hidden a little bit, but we've got things balancing out too. It's gonna start feeling more natural. It's gonna start feeling more normal, very, very soon. In fact, it might have already started, okay? And then we have the Knight of Wands, passionate adventure. This person, oh my gosh. I mean, it's kind of actually funny that I mentioned that guy now that I'm kind of looking at it overall, because this is talking this is talking about this, what the moon is representing that might be an illusion. So this person might be way more into you than you think they are. This person feels a lot of passion towards you. They want to make some major demonstrations. They're very attracted to you. You inspire them. You make them feel like a better person and all of that great stuff. That's probably what's going on here. I'm not getting anything else. I'm just getting, yeah, that's it. This person feels really passionate about the viewer. So keep that in mind. Here's another thing that's going on. This is just kind of going on in their life. This is affecting the relationship, okay? So this is kind of an extension of what's going on in this relationship. On your person's side, they're trying to get rid of something, okay? What they're trying to get rid of is whatever is coming in between the two of you, okay? This doesn't necessarily, and how I gave that big disclaimer at the beginning that this might be like, this is probably not a third party, like an actual person. Let's pretend like it is, okay? If it is a third party, I'm not necessarily saying that they're gonna break up with them or that they're gonna leave them. I'm just saying that they're trying to get this sorted so that they can come forward with this passion, okay? They're trying to reach some kind of agreement so that this sharp wedge is dulled a little bit, For some of you, they, if they are in a literal third party situation, like with another woman or another man, this might actually be that they are trying to get rid of that person completely from their life. But the general message for those of you who, like all of my audience, is that whatever is coming in between the two of you, even if it's something internal for them, I didn't mention that. I didn't mention that it could be an internal thing like fear or nervousness or, or something like that. They're working on it. They want to get it away because they do want to be with you, okay? On your end, here's what you can do, all right? On your end, we've got grounding, stability, and foundation with the color brown. We've also got kind of going back to nature, okay? With brown, okay, what you're being told is to really focus on what's going on just with you. Try not to think about the relationship as much. There's nothing wrong with, doing a little daydreaming and, and all of that kind of great stuff, but really take care of yourself, okay? It's going to be real important, just take care of yourself, all right? And then with Violet, we've got an intuitive, spiritual, and self-aware human being. You are going through a spiritual, basically initiation. You're kind of leveling up spirituality. Like your spirituality, you might start having some more visions. You might start feeling your intuition really strongly. For some of you, this actually might be a confirmation that what you used to experience is coming back, okay? Because I feel like some of you guys, this is like, okay, yeah, I do put a lot of work in my spirituality and it, rising up, that makes sense. And some of you, it'll be like, but I've never really had a strong sense of that. It's like, well, you're gonna get it. And then some of you guys might be like, well, it seems like lately, for the past 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years, or whatever, I really haven't been, on the ball there. It's like, what's going on? I've been kind of shut off. This happens sometimes when people have to take certain kinds of medications for different conditions. I feel like this is going to open up again, okay? For those of you who are in that situation, we've got cleanse and clarify with the bathroom here. This is getting rid of what you don't need anymore, okay? But it's also taking care of yourself, taking care of your body, grounding in the situation. So we've got kind of two things that are saying the same thing. Really get in touch with what's going on in your body. And given that we've got this very sensory oriented stuff combined with this very intuitive kind of stuff, we've got that tension of opposites that Carl Jung talks about. And with that, we've got, okay, yeah, you need to partake in sensory endeavor. You need to experience your senses in order to fill your mind and fill your body and your heart with all of those experiences, so that when you experience something new, you're able to quickly put it in, fit it into that pattern, so that you can kind of have that predictive ability, so that you can become more intuitive. Because the more experiences, the more real experiences you have, the better able you are going to be at predicting the energy that's coming next, all right? Okay, guys. It does sound like a very positive situation, though. It just feels like it feels like it just kind of needs to be launched, at this point. Hi, pile number 5. Those of you who picked the blue heart, here is your reading. Where we have you guys in your relationship, we've got the Empress. This is also called the Divine Feminine. We have the Eight of Wands, energy surge and communication. Oh, isn't that great? And then, I didn't even see it until I turned it over. We've got the Lovers. In this particular deck, understand that this is, about the twin flame journey. But this says twin flame connection. So we've got 2 major arcana cards. This is a big deal, We've got the Empress and the Lovers. And then we've got the Eight of Wands, just kind of coloring that, giving us that kind of, understanding that, yeah, this is moving quickly. You're going to have some communication soon, right? And that would make sense given that your person, what they're going through right now is there's been a pause, It's like they've slowed down or they've paused in the situation. It's almost like they're kind of putting something on hold. But they're about to come forward, okay? And then we have the material world, really, really concerned about that. In fact, I actually think that this one is really just really straightforward. They've been concerned about money. Your person's been concerned about money. That's it, So on your end, okay, this is what so this is answering, what can I do to improve it? It's kind of hard to improve on the Lovers and the Empress, though, but, let's see what we say. We've got visions, okay? You're going to be experiencing a lot of your own intuition about this situation. You're going to kind of know what's going to happen next. It doesn't necessarily have to be through literal visions. It can just be any kind of preview to what's going to happen next. It might just be a feeling. It might be a gut feeling. It might be just a thought that kind of pops into your head, that kind of thing, okay? You might see a movie or listen to a song and be like, ooh, that describes what's going to happen, that kind of thing, right? And then we've got pen, creation, okay? You're in your creative power right now. That makes sense if we've got the Empress energy in between the two of you as far as what's going on in the relationship. You've got some creativity here that needs to get out. Just like the visions, it doesn't necessarily have to be writing. It could be music, it could be art, it could be dance, it could be, just keep on adding. It could be a new business adventure, It doesn't necessarily have to be in the traditional arts either, Have dream guide, teacher or guardian. Here's the deal, it's like, I feel like this is your higher self, Some of you guys, it might be talking about a spirit guide. It might be talking about maybe a relative that's passed over. It might be talking about our friend. They're telling me or a friend. It could be a friend. Make sure you mention that. But this is like, this is, I feel like this is more, for most of you, it's like representing your higher self. Like, you already know what you need to do in this situation, You're a creative person, you're intuitive, you already kind of have this under control. It's more like, this part's the part that's important for you to know. It's not so much what you can do to improve it as much as what is going on in the situation. So what is going on in the situation is the two of you are a very beautiful pair. You have a soul connection. You are blessed with that. You are, you're in your creative energy in the same way that your partner is. Just because this is a divine feminine, just because this is talking about a female, doesn't mean that it can't apply to men. Okay, you guys? But you guys are in your creative energy. You guys are divine. Like, it's like you're aware of your divinity, and you're aware of the divinity in your partner as well, or in this person as well, right? And also, this is gonna happen quick. There's gonna be something that's gonna be happening very, very quick. I would put it within the next 2 weeks at the most, you guys. So, yeah, and that's regardless of when you watch this. If your person is kind of acting a little bit weird, they just needed a breather. It's not even like they needed to stop the relationship, because that's not what I'm getting. It's like they just needed to kind of pause and like re-collaborate and like kind of takes. It's almost like this was a distraction. Like these money issues kind of came up, and they're like, ah, crap. It's kind of like that. It's not like, well, they're disconnected from reality or anything. It's not like that. It's more like, I really feel like this is a literal money issue. And for those of you who are like, but my person is very, very affluent, there shouldn't be any problems there. It's like, well, even if they're affluent, it doesn't mean that they can't have a money issue. It could be that they, maybe something that they invested in, they need to switch over to a different stock, or maybe they are currently thinking about how to finance their children's school, like going to school, like to college or university. Maybe they've got to get their kids braces. Maybe they've got to buy a new car. It could be something like that, an unexpected, or, they're trying to plan for something, but it's just, there's something about money that they're having to kind of, think about. And it could be the material world, for example. They might need a new couch, something like that as well. Okay. Alrighty. Alright, you guys are fine. Like, you get the Lover's card, you're fine. Okay, pile number 6. We finally got to you. We've got the Black Heart here. Let's look at the energy. What's going on in this relationship, okay? What is going on in this relationship? We've got the Star. We've got universal alignment. This is like fate. This is like direction. This is also talking about hope, okay? And then we've got the Star, universal alignment. We also have the Magician, manifestation tools. You guys have 3. I'm going to put them in the order, okay? So the Magician's number 1. We've got manifestation tools. You're bringing this about, and your person wants to bring about too, okay? You're in that same energy. This is the energy of the relationship. This is what's going on. Then we've got the Emperor, the divine masculine. So right now you guys are really working on rules, how to define the situation, how to kind of control the situation either. And I'm not talking about controlling each other. I'm talking about how to say, this is what it is. This is the boundaries. This is the rules in this relationship. It's like, for those of you who are like, okay, like, what is this relationship? Not necessarily so much what's going on in it, but just what is it? It's like you're about to get to that point where you're going to find out, because that's what you're working on, both you and the person that you're asking about. You guys are going to start defining this, if you haven't already. And if you have already, and it's like, oh, well, I know where he is. He's my boyfriend. She's my girlfriend. I know that. Maybe you're going to be moving up a little bit too. And then again, we've got the Star. This is just kind of like, this whole thing is like supposed to happen. Like, this is kind of letting me know too that those of you who picked the pile, you did good. You picked the right pile for you. Because this is like, yeah, you're supposed to be aligned with this. Okay, so what's going on your person's side? We've got Muse and Return. They're asking you to return to them. They feel like you've been kind of been in your own head maybe a little bit, or a little bit like a little distracted, but like you've kind of been mulling over things a lot. Not even necessarily about the relationship, because this is on your person's side. Yeah, they're feeling like maybe you're a little distracted. They want your attention, okay? And they've been, you inspire them. You inspire them to be a better person. You inspire them to want to make these commitments, want to make things happen, and all of that. This is a very beautiful energy here. On your end, what should you be doing? Okay, so you've got the color red. You've got passion and love. Okay, might be a little angry a little bit sometimes. You getting up some courage too. Another thing with red that I've found is that you also might be feeling very sexual. You also might be feeling very like kind of feisty, That's fine. That's fine. I feel like that's totally fine in this situation. That passion, when you put passion into manifesting, like that's the magic that makes it work basically, that energy. So you're great there, okay? If you don't have this though, because this is what you can do to improve it. These three cards are all about what can you do to improve the situation, right? Bring more passion to it because you have it, you definitely have passion. To bring more of that to it, okay? We have table gathering. Have you been maybe ignoring socializing so much? Maybe there's something that you can do to bring some people together. It might not seem like this has anything to do with your relationship, but it will help. It'll help your relationship in some way. This is just so you know, the key word is table, and the explanation is gathering. Bring something together, okay? And then we have reaching for your dreams. This is saying go for it. Okay, I'm getting the complete picture here. I probably should have put them all down at the same time. We've got passion and courage, gathering and going for it. Okay, they're saying you've got to... Maybe you need to be telling your person how you're feeling because they're reaching out for you. They're like, hey, come here, tell me. We've got the star, we've got the emperor, we've got the magician. These are all cards having to do with making things happen. So yeah, you might be feeling called right now to move forward. If you are, that's the best course of action in the situation. Yeah, go ahead and go for it. You're good. Alrighty, guys. I don't think there's much more to say. I mean, this is pretty straightforward here. Okay. Alright guys, thank you so much for staying to the end of this video. I am so excited about where my channel is going, and I'm so thankful for you guys for all of the comments, love, support, the likes, and all the people who've been choosing me to book readings with. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad that I can help you guys, and I look forward to putting up more videos in the future. Alright guys, I'll see you tomorrow with the general love reading for the week. Alrighty.